Everybody. I hope you can see me. I'm having a little bit of internet trouble, broadcasting from a different location in the house and having some issues with that. I hope this works for the broadcast. Welcome to Friday Fun Live, and thank you so much for waiting in the wings here for me. And it is a going to be a nice warm day here in South Carolina, where I'm not too far from Myrtle Beach, a little bit inland though. So glad to have y'all join me. I'm down here helping with my husband's mom and enjoying time with her. Getting a lot of writing done this week. I have just really put my nose to the grindstone, so to speak, or actually into the computer, and just working on this surprise project that I keep telling you all about. Haven't showed anybody pictures yet. Um, yeah, I would like to. And I look forward to showing you. But right now, I am up to about page 18 or so in writing. So just to let you know, this is for those who are intermediate to advanced and who are looking for a challenge. I'm not going to go softly with it and say, oh, if you're a beginner, you can do this. I would say if you're a beginner, you're going to hate me. On that project that's coming, I will reveal that as soon as I possibly can. I just need to get further down the road, but I've got some brand new things to show you. So I'm looking forward to doing that. Let me go ahead and just greet folks who've been patiently waiting in the chat today. I also want to say hey to people who are listening via podcast. We are now making these available on Apple Music. So should you be traveling and you just want to listen, because you can't watch obviously and drive, or if you just want to listen and craft or whatever, we are making those available, so you can check that out in Apple Music. All right, so we have Brad's mom. Thank you so much for joining us, Linda. She says good morning, Bonnie, Hannah, Becky, and my dear Yarnies from a very stormy Southwest Chicago suburbs. Oh boy. If you can, Linda, try to send some of that rain storminess. I mean, maybe take out the bad stuff, but if you could send that rain our way, we'd appreciate it. In South Carolina here, um, south of me and Carolina Forest, they have that fire about 80% contained, but it's still burning. And it's just been so dry and windy here. And the northern part of the state, up into North Carolina as well, near the area that had the Hurricane Helene, is really suffering bad from fires. They're not even starting to be able to contain that. So please think about the Carolinas when you can. Send all your rain this way. Thank you for the reminder about the thumbs up, Linda. I so appreciate that. And she says, hope everyone is having a blessed day. That's so sweet of you. And DL Crisp says, good morning from a rainy Southern Oregon. She says, I'm working on the Navigator Lapcan, enjoying this pattern. I'm so glad you're enjoying that. As far as that pattern goes, I don't have it here to show you, but if you're having trouble getting the Navigator pattern, let me move this. Oh, that's what's in the way here. To, for the panels to match up, because they are different stitches, try using different crochet hooks. You don't have to follow exactly what we use, because as you know, every crocheter's crochet style is slightly different. And depending on, the hooks that you prefer and all of that. So definitely feel free to change up the hook so that you can get, a better gauge and whatnot to make that work. Angie, good morning to you, and love to craft. Waving right back at you, my friend. And Alana, so glad you could join us. Let's see. We just had a lot of things load real quickly, and everything goes. And BJ Thornberry says, good morning. Wishing all of you a wonderful Friday and weekend. Rainy here. Great day to be inside and crochet. Yes, absolutely. It's always a good day to be inside and crochet, but particularly when the weather's bad. Yes. And Jeannie, good to have you in the chat, my friend. I hope you and your family are doing well. Please give your son a hug for me. I hope he's doing well. Still praying for him and school and whatnot. Marie says, good day from Anna Marie in St. Louis, Missouri. I hope you're having a blessed day, Bonnie. Yes, I am. Thank you so much. I feel like I've gotten a lot done this week, so it feels good. I mean, the days and the weeks where you just feel like you're not getting a lot accomplished, but you are interacting with people and doing other things. I think sometimes those weeks, we get a false indication that we haven't done much, when in fact, we probably have done the more important things in meeting with people and talking with people, talking with family, encouraging them and everything. But since I'm kind of isolated, um, down here for another week or so. Um, yeah, I am particularly concentrating on work on the downtime, and I just really like the feeling of getting something done. But anyway, digressing again. And Diane, so good to have you. She says she's joining us from New Jersey. We have VJ Kitties. Says, hey there, Valerie from Endicott, New York. Wow. Did I say that right? Endicott. I'm sorry, Endicott, New York. I've got a lot of light coming in from one side here. I'm trying to use natural lighting because I'm in a room where there's not a lot of light. We're not facing the east side. So anyway, glad that you're here. So if I miss a letter or something, sorry. And Jan, so glad to have you with us. And Donna, um, and Hannah, see, Donna says, hello, Bonnie, Hannah, and everyone from rainy, sunny Ohio. Yeah, I know what that looks like too. And Carol's joining us. And Beth, good to have you from Cleveland, from a rainy Cleveland. Wow. Give those kitties a scratch on the head for me, okay? And please tell Terry I said, hey. Um, and Jan says, the storms haven't reached me in uh, Joliet, pronounced Joliet. Okay, thank you for that. I need those perks. Um, yeah, well, when it does reach you, send it on down. Send it on down to the Carolinas here. We could really use it. And William, so glad to have you. And Hannah, as always, thank you. Hannah's back home where I'm usually broadcasting from, and I'm down here where Hannah is, so it's a little confusing. But so glad you could join us and help me out here this morning, sweetheart. And thank you all for praying for Hannah. She's doing well. I think got some, good news on, things that she was seeing doctors on. I'm not going to go into detail here, but basically the bad things are ruled out, which is always a good thing. You still have to get to feeling better. So please pray that she gets to feeling better physically, but just thanking the Lord that it's nothing terribly serious right now. Donna says, I just found and bought a used but like new Celtic crochet book. I love it and will use it soon. Well, thank you, Donna, for doing that. I hope if you have any questions, you can always get me, bonniebay@me.com. And I did put the video, my email in the video description below. It's towards the top, so it should be easy to find. It's out there on the internet, on my website. It's everywhere. So definitely, if you have questions on any of that, just contact me and I'll get to you when I can. Just know weekends are generally, I keep them set apart for family, and most people can understand that. So thanks in advance for that. And Kathy G, welcome. And I like the banana there for Hannah Jan. That's cute. Um, and Lucille says, sad to hear all terrible news. Have a blessed day. Have a good free stress. I crochet and knit socks. Love you. God bless. I love you from Canada. Excellent. Well, we love our Canadian friends, Lucille. Our neighbors are, just to let you know, you are so welcome here. And let me go ahead and use this as a plug to tell you about my upcoming trip to Canada. I'm planning on doing this October 23rd through the 25th. That's in 2025. I'm going to be teaching some classes at the Prince Edward Island Fiber Festival. And that's going to be held at Delta Hotels Prince Edward, 18 Queen Street in Charlottetown. Prince Edward Island, as you know, the island where Anne of Green Gables inspired all those beautiful stories. So if that's something that's interesting to you, please look in the video description. I do have a link for that. Let me go ahead and get this other information out as well. I did find out I'm going to be doing I didn't even add this to my list. I'm going to be doing a book signing at the Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival on May 3rd. Gee whiz, I should probably tell you the time. The place, you'll have to look at the map because I am not even sure about the place. Okay, let me look what it says here in my calendar. Okay, 12:30 to 2:15. So 12:30 to 2:15, that's 12:30 PM to 2:15 at the Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival. That's at the Howard County Fairgrounds in Maryland. Um, Please come out. It's the biggest yarn festival as far as the vendors and yarn available that I've ever been to in my life. Um, you have to come out and see that. It's gonna be very crowded. So if you're not a fan of crowds, this might not be for you. But I will be there on Saturday, 2:30 to 2:15 or something like that. Where they're having the author's book signing. You'll have to look at the map and figure that one out. It's a big place, but definitely come out. I'm going to have some of my books there. I'm hoping to have a new release there, a book of Celtic cable shawls and scarves. So I'm working on that. I'm going to have to try to make that my top priority next week. I'm trying to finalize some things on that, but I'm hoping to have that off the press from Amazon KDP by May. So that might be actually the preview when I go there for that. So, and one more festival, let me tell you about. Then we'll just have just fun show and tell stuff to do. Where did my cursor go? I am having the darndest time seeing on this computer this morning. The Pittsburgh Creative Arts Festival. That's in Green Tree, Pennsylvania, which is just outside of the beautiful city of Pittsburgh. If you've never seen Pittsburgh, you should go see it. It's really beautiful. So many bridges, and in that town, I have some children that live not too far from there. That's going to be August 22nd through the 24th. I'm going to be teaching 4 classes, 2 on Friday, 2 on Saturday. And I believe it's Saturday night. We're having a special music program. It's going to be fun. It's just a fun parody time. Be silly, and I'm hoping that we can have some prizes and whatnot. Okay, give me a second, folks. Mike. Okay, there it is. I was trying to find, where did the cursor on my computer go? I'm trying to navigate it, and it was like not coming. So Hannah's request, getting back to Hannah's health here, she said the big thing for me now is to get my energy level back so I can do things without being exhausted from all the blood loss. Yeah, she's had a lot, very low red blood count, and so just pray that she'll be able to recover that and get that under control. Okay. Oh, thank you, Cecilia from Italy is joining us. And she was typing in Italian. It says, "Good evening. I follow you from Italy. Congratulations." Well, thank you so much. Grazie, Cecilia. I so appreciate you. Love your beautiful country. I just so love traveling in Italy and just feel honored to have the even ability to have done that. It's not something I would have thought I would have been able to do when I was growing up, believe me. And from Mimi says, "Hello, is that Paint Box Champagne yarn?" Yes, yes, this is. I'm going to be talking about that in a little bit. This is a champagne white. Well, now's as good as time as ever. The champagne white is probably one of my favorite colors. I buy that in packs of 10 when I buy this color from Lovecrafts. But the most recent design, as you know from my channel, is the Inisheer sweater wrap, which is a stole that you wrap around yourself. And then it has a back portion, like the back of a sweater right here, that helps to keep you warm. So, because when you get a chill, you don't want just your shoulders to be warmed up with a shawl. It's nice to have something, a little more, covering more of the torso. So that's what this is all about. And it features the honeycomb stitch, the cable stitch, low front ridge, the shadow box, and that's pretty much it. So, and just to let you know, this is also the cover, the feature cover right here. um, of my book that is now, what, 12, 13 years old, getting old, just like me. And so the instructions are in here. I cannot offer you a PDF because when you sell your rights to a publisher to publish a book, they become the owners of your rights. So that's why if you're a Watch Channel subscriber, I can't give you this. I would if I could, but I have a higher accountability, obeying the law. So, and I respect the law very much when it comes to copyright. So anyway, so that's the Inisheer sweater wrap. I know you've all seen that. Well, let me show you what is coming on Monday. This Monday is the Phoenix shawl. Okay. This has 3 different colors. And let me read you where my glasses go. Ugh. Let me read you the colors. All right. Okay, the colors used, the yarn I used was from the Yarnsmith, and each of the hanks has a total of 463 yards, which is a very generous hank of yarn. I think it's like 75% superwash merino, and then maybe the rest 25% nylon, which adds strength. A lot of sock yarns are mixed in that way. The colors I use are Mad About Saffron. That's the orange-ish color here. Merry and Bright, which is the color changing yarn here. And then this is called Dabbling Duck. And so I only used one of each. And you can easily look up the Yarnsmith. I don't know if I put her, I may have put her email or her web address, but if you just look up the Yarnsmith, you'll find her. She sells a lot, I believe, on Etsy. She may have her own website as well, but go ahead and check that out. This particular one is large enough to be a very comfortable shawl, as well as you can always wear the shawls as scarves. So, and I like doing both. And I got my daughter, my very, very pregnant daughter, Becky, to be my model while she was here. So that was a lot of fun. So if you see, I'm going to probably be releasing some shorts on this as we get closer, short video clips on this so that you can see it better. But you can see the little baby bump, which I think is it's miraculous as far as my daughter is concerned, because she has had problems with carrying pregnancy. So we're just really thrilled that we are about 3.5 months out from meeting another grandbaby. So we're real excited about that. And from M says, is that yarn for a new project? Yes, actually, yes. Well, let me go ahead. I'm going to spill all the beans early. So if you've never seen it live, I usually like to interact more with you, and I'm going to do that in just a minute. But these are the colors. I used these on a throw about 2 years ago. And I really loved the way they looked. And so I decided to work a new project. And let me tell you a little bit about this project. It's inspired. Let me go ahead and show it to you first. I'll show and then I'll tell. Okay, hold it up, right? Okay, so this is another sweater wrap, but with very easy stitching. Let's see where. Okay, very easy stitching. And you may recognize the ripple stitch. Now this ripple stitch is using, let me see if it'll show. This using a double crochet and a single crochet, and you're doing some work in the back loop. So it adds an additional surface texture, which I absolutely love. And so each end has beautiful tassels. Of course, that's optional. And then, of course, the center, it just continues on with the ripple from the back. So if you've ever done a ripple, this is going to be easy. And just knowing it's not all single crochet, it's like 50% double crochet. So it's going to go pretty fast. You're not going to be spending a lot of time on this. Another fun thing with this is you don't have to go out and buy a bunch of yarn. If you've got a lot of, you know, worsted weight yarn in your stash and you have a lot of colors you like together and you don't know what in the world you're going to do with them, here you go. And you don't have to have enough for a throw. You can just make it into you can just do a shawl if you just want a shawl. But if you want a sweater wrap, you have that option to go and make the backside as well. Um, this is the same stitch as a shawl that I made my mom. Actually, I made her two when I know I was around 10 years old. And I used a pattern. This was back in the days when those of you who remember those patterns that were folded a bunch of different ways and they were about this big, and then you unfold them kind of like a map. We used to have to read paper maps. You remember that? Those of you who are, half my age probably don't know what I'm talking about. That's okay. But we used to have to be able to read maps. And I actually prefer reading maps to know where I'm going and what's in between here and there. But anyway, this was one of those patterns that folded out like a map, and then you folded it back. And I got it from my friend's mom, my friend Becky Stone. She, my late friend, I lost her when she was only 28, and that's who my daughter is named for. I can't talk too much about that or I will lose it. But anyway, her mom, who also has gone to be with the Lord a few years back during COVID, she taught me how to read patterns. And these were the old school kind of patterns. And the shawl, it wasn't a shawl, it was a cape. And it was a cape that came down, had buttons down the front, and then it had slits for where your arms could come up through the cape. If any of you all remember that pattern. Obviously, I didn't want to copy that verbatim because I just wanted to, I guess, freshen it up a little bit, make it a little more modern. So I took that very stitch, which is this stitch, and just made it into a shawl. And I really, really, really enjoy the way this feels. Now, I can't put this on for very long because it's going to be 80 degrees here this afternoon. And I don't need to be wearing, it's already feeling warm. But if you're looking for, I can stand up, for a shawl, and then it covers the back. So, it's kind of fun. All right. So I'm hoping to roll this out sometime in April. Not sure exactly when, but I'm going to, make it a priority. This will be coming out before that special project that I was telling you about. So that is coming available. And what do you need? Where did the yarn go? Of course. Oh, well, of course, it's tangled on the wheel of my chair, but I have the dark purple, of which I used 3. I used 2 of these, and I used 3 of these. But all of that will be forthcoming. And like I said, if you just want to use, stash yarn that you have left over from other projects, I mean, you could make it multicolored. You don't have to follow, the exact striping scheme that I use. And you all know that you'll probably come up with something 100 times better. I know you guys, you are so, I get these pictures from you all the time, and I absolutely love them. And I want to shout out to you all and say thank you for sending me photos of your work, especially of the ones that are my designs, because you guys are the best promo material that I have, just proof that these projects can be done. And when I see the colors that you all select, sometimes the way you experiment with color is just really cool. And I'm really learning a lot from you. So thank you. Keep it up. Not any of us are individually, the source of all information. We each have a piece of the puzzle, and it's just, wonderful to be able to share that with each other. All right, let me get back to the chat here. And JN says, good afternoon from California. I'm visiting my daughter who's leaving for Israel tomorrow on a mission trip. Fantastic. I bought my On a Hill Easter Afghan to work on while I'm here. Well, excellent, JN. If you have any trouble, reach out to me and maybe I can help. I hope hopefully the videos are crystal clear, because I was trying to be as careful as I could to, make that, very, very clear. But I wish your daughter Godspeed on visiting Israel. I had a fantastic trip there back in 2022. Would love to go back, maybe when things settle down a little bit, and just pray that your daughter can stay safe. Although they're probably a lot safer there than they would be on a lot of college campuses here. Not to get into anything uh, too volatile or anything, but I will say a prayer for your daughter. I hope she does well. Um, all right. And Tracy Hamilton says that the creative grandma on YouTube did a review on one of my books. Oh, fantastic! Thank you, thank you, Tracy, for telling me that. I wouldn't have known otherwise. I'll have to. I will look that up, see how well I did on that. I could always use some constructive criticism, especially as I'm getting ready to work on another book, another leaflet. I don't want to mislead folks. It's a leaflet, and it's things that if you follow me a lot, you already know what's going to be in it. It's going to be some of the more recent scarves and shawls. It's just going to be a collection, which is actually going to be much more economical to purchase than if you purchase individual patterns. But that's the secret that those of us who love books know, that the people who only buy PDFs, um, I don't know. Maybe I understand the difference in both, and I love people who buy PDFs as well. I'm just saying that books are always I think, a much better value. But anyway, and Ekstrom is in the chat. Good morning to you. And is it Vima's Crochet? Good to see you in the chat. And Beth says Terry is making your ripple again, and she says hi back. Well, great. Hope you guys, I don't know if you guys are planning on coming to Pittsburgh or not, but it would be really fun to catch up again. No pressure though. I understand these are tough economical times. And Lady Crochet, welcome. And Jan said I got the name back there. Says you got it. It's actually French, so you could use a French accent. Get my son-in-law to do that. He's really good about that. He's a very good actor. He can do all these different these accents and whatnot. And let's see, we have Karen in our chat today, and so good to see Ekstrom again. And Carol says, please take good care of you, Hannah. There's only one you. That's right, Carol. And we're trying to help her do that. And Susan says, I started on the red Christmas throw. Not easy, but still at it. Yeah, that's a little tricky, Susan. But I think once you do one repeat, you can always look back and see what you've done and just do it again. Very visual, but yeah, it's a little tricky. I understand that one. And Joan says, this is my first visit. I'm on vacation, looking forward to a relaxing afternoon. Well, Joan, thank you so much for visiting with us. And Cecilia's with us. Okay, that was the lady from Italy, and fantastic having somebody from Europe. And Sandra, good morning to you. She's joining us from Southern California. And Mimi says, hi, Bonnie. Is that paint? Okay, we've done that one. Yes, it was paint box yarn. And Ekstrom says, just a friendly little attempt at a joke. When in Canada, please just visit, don't invade. Okay, don't worry. I have too much Florida left in me to stay Ekstrom, I promise you. I love the snow. I love, going different places. I do live in a northern-ish climate, but it's like way south to you in Maryland, where we do get snow and whatnot. But don't worry, I don't think I could having lived in Florida where you just get the sunshine all the time. I really, that's the one thing I miss living in Maryland. I miss seeing more sun. And I know when you're further up north, you have more sun in the summertime, but you have almost none in the wintertime. I know my friend Barbara in Alaska, that's something that we've talked about. And, it's just really hard because you don't see the sun very much for like 6 months of the year. And I could not do that. I don't think I could. I know God could give me grace for anything, but please don't give me grace for that. So don't worry, we're not going to invade. I just hope y'all let us in. Hope y'all let me in at the border. I love Canada and always will. And Gladys says hello from New York City, says enjoying a beautiful spring day. That's fantastic. Um, and M says, hi, Bonnie. Is that yarn for a new project? Yep, it is. Yep, it is. And Jan says, hey, y'all, what do you call a line of rabbits hopping backwards? That's a good one. I'll have to think about that, Jan. Uh, yeah, and we have to hope Tracy gives us the answer to that one. BJ says, would love for you to come to Wisconsin. Yeah, I've never been to Wisconsin actually, BJ. That would be, I like to go anywhere, but to go someplace I've never been before is always an adventure. I would love to. It's just a matter of time right now. We've got, like I said, caring for Craig's mom and back and forth, and have a grandbaby on the way. So family takes priority, but if I can work it in, I will work it in. So please send me information if you know of a festival that's looking for teachers. And it's kind of important too if they help you with expenses of travel. That would really help me out a lot. And from Jacqueline, she says, hello, everyone. Late, but here, missed the live last week with a heavy heart. My daughter lost her battle with cancer. Oh, I'm so sorry, Jacqueline. I was just praying for her this morning. Keep my family in prayer as we prepare to lay her to rest. Oh, whew. Thank you, Hannah, for sending that. I cannot imagine what that's like, Jacqueline. Yeah, you guys pray for her, okay? That's heavy. I just pray she's, um, in the Lord's hands at this point. And if, that she is in a much better place, but I know that's really hard because that leaves you all empty handed here. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to move on, Jacqueline, but I'm really feeling that. Okay. Okay. Jan, send us that answer. We really need that joke now. All right. I'm going to try to move on here. Oh, thank you, Jan. She says she likes the wrap and says the color is perfect. Yeah. And then, ooh, thank you, Hannah. uh, yeah, thanks, Jan. I'm trying to not think of my mom too much either. That reminds me of her. Just seeing the colors. The one I made for her was blue, and I had another one that was red, white, and blue. Of course, it was like around 1976 when I made that one. Everything was red, white, and blue. I think in my stash back that year, the bicentennial, everything red, white, and blue, granny square bikini, um, which I never wore publicly, for the record. Yeah. Uh, anyway, my mom wore this shawl I'm talking about, the project that inspired this. She wore, I mean, this is down in South Florida. She wore that shawl everywhere because, every day, no matter what the season. And again, I've talked about this before. It's because in South Florida, it may be hot on the outside, but when you go indoors, it's wintertime. I promise you, they keep the thermostat so cold. I mean, all the restaurants and stuff, you can see the condensation on the windows just from the difference in the temperatures, and it used to drive my mom nuts. So I made these shawls for her, and she wore them everywhere, to the grocery store, every time she went. They were always with her, and sometimes one of them got to be looking so kind of worn, and I still have it. I saved it, but I'm like, Mom, can't you wear something else? Oh no, I love these things. And I'm like, okay, whatever. But anyway, so that just reminds me of her a lot. And Hannah, you know what I'm talking about. She wore those things all the time. All right. Okay, Jan, I got the part of the joke. So, what do you call a line of rabbits hopping backwards? It's called a receding hairline. I have one of those actually. Thank you, Jan. That is cute. That is pretty cute. We needed that this morning, this afternoon, whatever. Oh, that's great. Um, all right, let me look at my list here. Let me see if there's something else I need to let you all know about. I meant to show you my sweater this morning. I left it downstairs. I forgot to bring it up. I was hoping to be in a different location, but I'll show that to you next week. I am working on a sweater, and I had one sleeve two-thirds the way done. This is a knit sweater. I am not a terribly experienced knitter. I do knit some things. I was super curious to learn it years ago and finally nailed it with the right tools and with the right method that I didn't have back then. And as you know, I have a lot of beginning or some beginning knitting using the continental style of knitting on my channel. And I welcome y'all to look at those. If you ever wanted to learn to knit, I go very slowly because that's where I am. That's where I was when I did those videos. I'm not, that's not me yet. But I am working with something called the Norwegian knitting thimble, which is something you put on your finger. And I wanted to show that to you again. I need to make a video with that, but I haven't gotten around to that yet. But I am working on a sweater with 4 or 5 different colors. Fun, fun, fun. So I was working some rounds on the sleeves, on the upper part of the sleeve, so that when the sleeve joins the yoke, it's all going to kind of be all together, hopefully. Um, so I was working all the color changes on the arm and was working with one that actually had 4 different colors in the Norwegian knitting thimble as I'm knitting, changing colors back and forth with 4 different colors. It's fun, it's another kind of a brain challenge if you're looking for something to keep you fresh and learn something new. Check that out. Um, and also just another reminder. I haven't seen as many of these as I had seen before, but just do be careful. Joann's stores, are closing everywhere. And several weeks ago, we talked about the scams that have been online, and they've been rampant. I've reported them every time they've come up, and they've stopped coming into my feed, but they may be coming into your feed still. It's just know that there is no Joann's online sales any longer. And if anybody's promising you 80, 90% discount, that's no more. You have to go into the stores to purchase things from them because Joann's no longer owns them. It's owned by a liquidation company, blah, 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 blah. So you know the facts. Just beware. If you see any of that stuff pop up, just keep scrolling. Don't believe it. Okay. And I hope I'm still broadcasting. Um, all right. And we have Susie Pop's Creation in the chat. Welcome. And Nessa, let me back up a little bit, see if I've missed anybody. Excuse me. Ah, good joke, Jan. I really appreciate that. I'm gonna have to tell that to my kids later. Um, and Jan says, "Well, how wonderful, a new grandbaby." Yeah, we're excited about this. And this was supposed to be a girl, so we don't know. At least that's what the doctors say, that they believe it's a girl. So we're really excited about this one. Are excited about life, no matter what. But I'm excited for my daughter, having suffered some loss in this area. It's just exciting to be able to so far be doing well. Yes. And Red Hook says, hello, Bonnie, Hannah, and everyone. Red Hook, glad to have you here. And thanks again, Tracy, for telling me about the Creative Grandma. I'm going to have to look that up. Oh, good, Sandra. Okay, so you all watch the Creative Grandma. I'll have to take a look at that. I just to let you all know, I generally don't spend a lot of time watching other people's channels. For one reason, I don't have that much time to do that. But also, I want to be careful not to be copycatting what other people are doing, and just kind of want to keep my inspiration, kind of original as I can. But it is fun to meet, other people who are doing what I do. I would love to just, get together with some of these folks and meet them and take them out to lunch. Um, oh, good. Jan says the pattern is perfect. I've had no problem following it. Thank you for your prayers for my daughter. No problem. And Tracy wants to know, is anyone going to DFW Fiberfest in September? Oh, I wish I were. They didn't pick up my classes this year, Tracy, or I'd be there. But yeah, maybe I'll try again next year and see what they want. Um, and Nessa says, "Hi everyone, busy working at the moment, but wanted to stop by to say hi." And let's see, we have Blue Sky from Forest, Virginia. Well, welcome. And thank you, Nessa, for checking on Hannah, and y'all for praying for our friend Jacqueline. I mean, thank you so much for praying for her family. Keep them on your prayer list for a while, because this is not something that goes away any quickly. This is something you carry for the rest of your life. So please pray for their family. Um, and let's see, Cindy Stitchmaker, I like that. Says, "Good afternoon from Virginia. I'm a little late joining, but I'll watch the replay to see what I missed." Yeah, put all the show and tell stuff towards the beginning this time. And thank you all for caring for Jacqueline. I so appreciate that. Just that's what a community does, you know? Um, yeah, thank you, Nessa, for caring for Jacqueline in that way. And thank you, Ekstrom, yeah, on the congrats on the grandbaby. Yeah, we're excited to meet the new baby. I'm gonna have to work hard before that time, because once the baby comes, I'm gonna be relocating to Georgia for a while. I never know what my zip code is, but it's a joyful time of life. So I'll be loading up my Miata with as much yarn as will fit and heading south. And yeah, let's see. We have Eve in the chat says, "Okay, thank you again, taking care of our friend." Um, I just know it's so healing too when you know that you're not alone in your sorrow. And thank you for just, even though it's through the internet, we're all real, and just coming alongside our friends like this is really great. Um, yeah, BJ says I need to check out the Red Christmas Throw. Yeah, that's a new release for this from this past fall. Uh, and thank you, Dorothy, for praying for Jacqueline and Ekstrom and everybody. Wow. And then Nessa says, very pretty. Oh my gosh, she must have been cooking since it's so hot outside, but I'm always freezing in the AC whenever I went somewhere. Yeah, just like my mom. Yeah. And when the temperature change is so drastic, it like 20-degree change, it really takes, you come out. This is like living in South Florida. You're outside, perspiration, you're wet from your body's natural air conditioning with, perspiring, and then you go into a 70-degree restaurant or something, and it just you turn to ice, because the water now turns cold and it makes you so cold. So that's why you need, you know, you need things like this. And this is another reason, like these kinds of merino wool shawls made out of fingering weight yarn are great. It's not big and bulky like this might be. It's thin. You can stuff it into a bag or something, and you don't have to carry it when you don't need it. You could just stuff it away. Anyway, um, yeah, Linda, thank you for taking care of Jacqueline, and yeah, Jacqueline enjoyed the joke. So thanks for sending that in, Jan. That was great. Um, and Ekstrom says, "Good for you, Bonnie, for doing the Norwegian knitting. Sounds like fun." Yeah, it's just knit stitch in the round. That's all you're doing. But with the Norwegian way, you're just changing the color of yarn each time. So you have to be careful with the floats. So that's the tricky part, and keeping your yarn untangled behind that. Let's see. We have Gladys. Um, thank you for again. Thank you for caring for each other. That is so kind of you. And Donna, you too. Um, and Felicia, welcome. And Chandra, I'm so glad that you can join us. I hope I said that right. Um, and let's see. Yes, Nessa, she says it's such a blessing that I'll be able to be there with my daughter to help her with the new grandbaby. And congratulations. Yeah, because I'm going to be helping with the first grandbaby too, who is very mobile. He doesn't walk, he runs everywhere. So I'm going to be, full-time entertainer of a 2-year-old, basically, or almost 2-year-old, and trying to keep mom happy and rested. So it's going to be fun. So I'll be asking for lots of prayers when that comes around, not just for my daughter, but for me as well. I'm really looking forward to it, though. Uh, and Jan says, talking about I guess the temperature change says, it reminds me of how, I guess, cold it is in church. It's summer outside, but winter inside all the time. Like I said, coming from South Florida, I'm always prepared. Grab a sweater or shawl, anything, just to be prepared. Um, and Felicia asked prayer for her aunt and uncle as their son OD'd. Oh, I'm so sorry about that, Felicia. Uh, he had a stroke and have a few days to live. Um, I am so sorry to hear about that, Felicia. Wow, that's pretty heavy too. And Jacqueline says grandchildren are so special; they keep me going. And yeah, and she is thankful for all of you caring for her. So thank you so much, Jacqueline. Um, we will all be praying for you, for your comfort, and thank you, Chandra, for caring for her. Um, and and Hannah is telling Jacqueline that, yeah, my sister actually, Becky, um, woke Hannah up this morning with a FaceTime call because my grandson wanted to talk to her. Isn't that cool? That is so much fun. And he's such a cheerful little guy too. Both of our grandsons are. Um, and Ekstrom, thank you again for caring for Felicia. And Felicia, again, I'm so sorry. Um, I just can't imagine. I don't want to even ever be able to imagine what it's like, yeah, to suffer in that way. God, please, no. Yeah, and Dorothy, thank you for caring for her. Um, well, if you all don't have any questions, let me just end a little bit early today, and I'm reading from the good book here. This is in case you are interested in the version of the Bible, which I don't really think matters terribly much. This is the ESV, English Standard Version, and I'm reading from the New Testament. And again, this is just who I am. I mean, this is what keeps me running. And again, I just say a few words about this. I don't share scriptures, to bring any condemnation on anybody, to and I don't do this because I think I'm better than anybody, because believe me, I wouldn't be a Christian if I thought I was better than everybody, because then I wouldn't need Christ and what he did for me. Um, I am just as one of my favorite musicians that used to say, this is Bob Bennett. He said, "I'm just a beggar telling another beggar where they can find bread," and that's the way I see this. And this is from the book of Hebrews. I read this a couple days ago, and this is referring to Jesus. And says, since this is chapter 4, verses 14 through 16. And it says, since then we have a great high priest who has passed through the heavens, Jesus, the Son of God. Let us hold fast our confession. For we do not have a high priest who is unable to sympathize with our weaknesses, but one who in every respect has been tempted as we are, yet without sin. Let us then with confidence draw near to the throne of grace, that we may receive mercy and find grace to help in time of need. So I hope I hope that blesses you all as much as it does me, and just a reminder of where to go when we are in need. So anyway, I'm gonna sign off and just again thank you guys for being with me today. It means so much, and I look forward to seeing you next week. God bless. Bye bye.